Let's welcome in our Powerhouse panel this morning. Joining Allison and I is Project 21 National Advisory Board member and radio host Christopher Arps and former Deputy Press Secretary under President Trump. He's also a Newsmax contributor. Ladies and gentlemen, Hogan Gidley, Gidley. Good to see you all. Good to have you on this morning. Just quickly on that Brittney Griner thing, Chris, wondering what your reaction is to that. You know, I was looking into the story a little bit. This wasn't like her first trip to Russia, by the way, to play basketball. A lot of these WNBA players, especially the stars like Griner, they've got a barnstorm like, you know, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig used to do 80 years ago to make money in the offseason because they don't make a ton of dough in the WNBA because the league doesn't make any money. Nobody goes, nobody watches. This is like her 8th time playing there. By then, I think you would know the rules. She broke the law.
Exactly. And my Congresswoman, Cori Bush, of course, not disappointing with that comment. I think what Cori Bush and others need to realize is that, you know, this is a serious situation with Brittney Griner over in Russia. But there is a war going on in Ukraine, and we have very high inflation and a lot of other things going on. It may not be at the top of the list. Yeah, and Cori Bush, she is your representative in Congress, right? She is. And you guys are very close. She comes on your podcast, I'm sure, all the time, right? Oh, you know it. You can't keep her off the thing. Hey, all right. Hey, Rob, I want to also say happy Valentine or happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. This day has a special meaning for me. I took an ancestry DNA test. Yes. And I'm 4% Irish. Wow. All right. Yes. Well, welcome to the clan then officially. I knew you looked Irish. That's 1%. 5% is a major ethnic group. So I'm 1% from Ireland being a main. 1 more percent, you could have been a Harvard professor like Elizabeth Warren. She put Native American down, and we know how Native American she is. Hogan, good morning. What's going on?
Good morning. Not too much today. Just ready for Wake Up America. I, however, have taken several DNA tests. I don't think I'm Irish at all. Not at all. I don't have any green. Maybe, I don't know. You probably. You know, we're all a mix here in the good old U.S. Hogan's kind of an Irish name. I hear my ancestry is English, but whatever. Hogan is moderately Irish. Everyone thinks that I'm so Irish because my last name is Finnerty. I'm not that Irish. I'm a mutt. I'm a mix, just like so many of us here. Okay, let's talk about the situation in Russia. Day 22 of the fighting in Ukraine, and something has changed probably in the last 10 days with the calculus of Vladimir Putin. I want to show you this theater. It looks like just a regular, regional theater. This is in the city of Mariupol, again, a city of about 700,000 people in the southeastern part of Ukraine. Now, if you're taking a look at your screen, you'll see that we've circled 2 spots. That's the front and back of the theater. That says children in Russian. So the Russian Air Force flying overhead would know that kids are sheltering inside. They were using this as a shelter. Families, a lot of kids. The Russian Air Force bombed this building yesterday. They also, blew up another building where people were in line waiting for bread. Hogan, I'm just curious, and then Allison, I want to get your take on this. Vladimir Putin was surgical when this began. The shelling and the bombing seemed to be targeted. I think he knows that he's not going to win this war. So his calculus has shifted to just destroy Ukraine. Just destroy Ukraine, break the will of its people, kill its people, men, women, and children included, innocent people included. I don't know if that's necessarily a shift in calculus. I think history would prove Russia isn't too concerned about things such as women and children. They just want to bomb and destroy. That's been pretty obvious. I mean, look, Vladimir Putin is no doubt an evil person.
But Hogan, do you think that was calculated? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you think that was deliberate by the Russian Air Force?
I have no way of knowing that. If you told me it was, I would say sure. I don't disagree with that. If you told me it wasn't, I would say sure. I just don't think they're that good at what they do regardless. I do believe, though, that the Russian army, led, of course, by Vladimir Putin, thought they would run through this town like a warm knife through warm butter, but that did not happen. We're seeing kind of a resistance here that few thought would happen, a fight that few thought would happen. And even in the face of all of that, the leader, Zelensky, is still going on television, still addressing our Congress, saying, look, we need to hearken back to the feelings you felt during Pearl Harbor. We need to hearken back to the feelings you felt during 9/11. Here's some specific asks. Of course, I want MiGs. Of course, I want a no-fly zone. I want the S-300s, but I also want you to boycott businesses. If you have businesses within your districts, congressmen and senators, please tell them, get out of Russia.
That was powerful.
These are specific asks. He is being a leader here, and he's going directly to Congress, as you'll notice, because he understands Joe Biden is not really the leader. of this country, and that's a sad place for us to be.
Yeah, there was a freight ship, Allison, that was headed to, I believe, Portland, Maine. It was one of the coastal cities in Portland, Maine, from Russia. It arrived yesterday, and the harbor master and the Coast Guard turned it around. So they listened to President Zelensky, and they said, it was packed full of soap and whatever they were shipping in. Said, nope, turn it around, we'll gas you up, you got to get out of here.
I think a lot of people are listening to Zelensky as well as Congress, and I think Hogan is right. The president, obviously, he's always a couple of steps back. But going back to Putin, he was not thinking this is how it would go. I think he thought he would take Kyiv, everything would be good. We saw what he said yesterday, and to me that seems like he's not happy with what's happening in Russia. We have thousands of people who are protesting. I don't think he was expecting that people in Russia would actually not believe the propaganda and would get their news sources from other ways, such as social media. So he was speaking to me out of desperation yesterday, and we're seeing what he's doing. He's intentionally going after, I believe, innocent people. He's not targeting, specific military headquarters.
We're going to have General Blaine Holt back with us, and we're tight on time. I do want to play you this. This is Vladimir Putin yesterday addressing his people, and I want you to pay attention to some of the language that he's using now that he was not using 3 weeks ago. Again, today, day number 22 of the fighting. Take a listen.
But any people, and even more so the Russian people, will always be able to distinguish true patriots from scum and traitors, and simply spit them out like a fly that accidentally flew into the mouth. Spit them out. I'm convinced that such a natural and necessary cleansing of society will only strengthen our country.
He's threatening. He's desperate.
Allison, necessary cleansing.
Yeah. When have we heard? I mean,
Chris, that Yugoslavia, you want to go back to World War II? You want to talk about Hitler? He used the word cleansing. What do you make of that?
I also think when you go back to that, to the Bosnia and all that, when we enforced a no-fly zone because there were massacres going on, I think that that's a rationale for doing that here.
Yeah, necessary cleansing, though. I think you can officially say the cheese has slipped off the cracker when it comes to
for someone
Putin.
Using language talking about Ukrainians being Nazis when Zelensky is in fact Jewish. For him to use the language cleansing, that obviously connotes some serious issues with Vladimir Putin and his desires steeped in evil.
That's a great point, Hogan. Excellent point. All right, panel, we'll pick this back up in just about 10 minutes, top of the hour. We will see you again. Chris Arps, Hogan Gidley, thanks so much.